So essentially, like a big focus for us in like the 6-week break, pretty much has been to work on like a lot of fundamentals, and really work on different archetype of comps rather than focusing on a comp week in, week out. So, we put a lot of emphasis on individual improvement. So we kind of actually decreased team review, but we increased kind of the load and the expectation of individual improvement and development. So, and I guess I was less hands-on during script, and definitely allowing our players to think for themselves, not just composition swaps, but more like stylistic approaches. And I'll give you guys an analogy because I think this is a pretty good sum up of how we approach the 6-week break, and I think that any coach, upcoming or established, can kind of learn from. Is with the whole like COVID-19 restrictions. My family and I have been kind of working on a jigsaw puzzle, and the jigsaw puzzle was of an elephant in the savannah. And essentially, like, what made it really difficult was because there was a lot of the same colors. It was it's a very pale color palette. So what I'd be doing is I'd be sitting and and you know how when you're doing a jigsaw puzzle, you can kind of identify small parts of the picture. So like it might be a tree, or it might be the sky or a building. But for me, with doing this elephant puzzle, it was the elephant's like ear or something like that. And then like, it's really, really difficult to see like, where does this ear go? Where does this piece go? Like, where do these blocks of 4 pieces go? And it only took like, when you take like a couple of meters back, I realized the bigger picture, right? It was really, really easy for me to kind of identify what I could work on that puzzle. And this kind of definitely can apply to how we treated the off season. Is we kind of stepped away from the set plays. We kind of we actually rarely had any set plays for our series, and that's usually our strong suit. But we didn't really settle for any set plays or anything too extensive in regards to the comp that we played, but really focused on the bigger picture. How the players think conceptually, versus whatever comp they're up. And I think my boys did a pretty good job of that. So here's to another 2 weeks of prep. It is annoying, and how there's a lot of controversy online, but yeah. So like the first couple of weeks, we were just really outlining the issues of the team and like how we can kind of approach that. In the middle of the break, we really focused on simple stuff like how we want to rotate, how we want to execute, how we want to communicate. I think communication was a pretty big focus point for us. So teaching them how to think. Yeah, exactly. Right. My players are thinkers. Right, across the board, every player on this team can think for themselves, and I don't have to tell them to swap to a particular hero in middle of the scrim for them to kind of act to it. So, and then this definitely helped us to adapt on the fly. So, yeah, like the break, we worked on simple things, the fundamentals that makes a really solid team. Rotations, how we want to be planning fights, communication, the synergy between different characters, and stuff like that. That was a really, really positive thing. And then like we worked on ultimates, the execution of it, and